What is good, everybody? I'm finally back from my hiatus. So basically what I did was I took a vacation around December, which was long overdue. Obviously not from YouTube because I haven't been doing it all too long, but just in my personal life, I haven't been on holiday or vacation, basically away from my hometown for a long time. So decided to take a trip away with my partner. So that was nice. I got back and just been busy coming back to work, that sort of stuff. And some crazy things have happened. Obviously we had the trade deadline, which insanity. We'll obviously get into that, and I'm going to be coming out with some videos that talk about that, doing some rebuilds and that sort of stuff, of course. Had the Super Bowl yesterday, watched that was fantastic. I actually liked the Chiefs. I had the Chiefs winning it, so I mean, very controversial call at the end there, but I'll take what I can get. And of course, my most exciting thing that I've come back to is the trades that the Lakers have made. In case you guys didn't know, I'm a Laker fan, obviously. But in today's video, we're going to be starting a series that's different from my usual rebuilds. And so basically, I wanted to turn this into a proper My NBA series where we spread it out over the course of a few episodes. We maybe do a month at a time and we get more in depth than a usual rebuild. I'll still be doing the usual rebuilds. I still have a Phoenix Suns save and a Dallas Mavericks save ready to go. Obviously, I'm a bit behind, but they're the teams I really want to tackle. I really like Luka and I like what the Suns have done. So in today's video, we're just going to be doing an introduction into the team. Now, I know most people will do this with a team that's rebuilding, but I want to do it with my favorite team. So we are the Lakers. We're going to be trying to compete pretty much straight away. And then we'll be going into the future where we might be looking at seeing what we can get for Anthony Davis and possibly LeBron James as well, if it gets to that point. Now, obviously, if you guys will notice, slightly different setup, the microphone's in front of me now. Now, I decided to do that, put it on a boom stand and have it closer to my face just so I can try to eliminate some buzzing from the PC or from the fan, I suppose, that I was getting. So, see if that sounds any better. I don't think it's too obstructive. My face is still above it, so it should be all good. And so, without further ado, let's get into it and I will show you what we're working with. Alright, so here we are in 2K, and thank you 2K gods or developers, Ronnie, I guess, whoever was involved with it, for finally giving us start today back in my NBA. So we will have a look. We do have the current trades updated, at least with the players. I'm not sure if 2K actually does the pick side of things, but that's completely fine. I think we'll just rock with it as is. I do know that the pick we traded away in the Westbrook trade in the Big 3 team to bring D'Lo back is top 4 protected. And what's actually even better with that is, I'm not sure if everybody knows this, but that top 4 protection essentially states that if it is in the top 4 and we do get that pick, it immediately falls to a second round pick and therefore doesn't go to a first round pick again, which is really exciting. All right, moving forward, I've managed to keep the microphone sort of in my face, but get it under the camera, which is exciting. Looking at the team, we obviously still have LeBron. He's here to stay until he retires or he ultimately leaves us in free agency, which I'm hoping doesn't happen. Ideally, we'd like to get at least 1 to 2 more championships with LeBron on the roster. For me as a fanboy as well, that'd be the goal, I suppose. Anthony Davis, obviously here to stay. We don't have any plans to move him unless we get to a point in the future where he's really fallen off and we sort of need to move him to get more draft capital or young players for our future. D'Angelo Russell is a free agent this off-season, I believe. Let me just see if I can find his contract. And that is the case. He's a free agent after this season. I do plan on re-signing him. I think, he's only 26 years old, former Laker. Depending on how his progression goes, he may be our perfect point guard for the next few seasons. Vando, V8, another guy I'm a big fan of. Very excited to have him on the team in real life. So hopefully I am able to hold on to him as well. I think he has a couple of years of team control, so that's good. He's only making $4 million a year, so he's definitely here to stay for at least the next 2 seasons. Rui Hachimura, another guy I'm very happy to have. He's also in the last year of his deal. We'll have to see if we want to bring him back. Knowing 2K is probably going to be asking for around $20 million a year, and for Rui, I just don't think that's worth it. So it might also be a sign and trade, so we don't lose him for nothing. We'll see how we go with that. Austin Reeves, man, love this guy. Hillbilly Kobe, AR-15 as well. So we're definitely going to try our best to hold on to him. He's making 1.6 mil this year. 2K is a bit weird. It might not give me bird rights, but I believe as a restricted free agent, we should be able to bring him back anyway. Mo Bamba is another really good pickup. I love that trade, giving up Pat Bev. I mean, I like Pat Bev too, probably one of the few Laker fans who still likes him, but I love that personality. He's got that dog in him. That's all good though. We got Mo Bamba, a big who can play next to Anthony Davis, who can stretch the floor a little bit. Whether we start him at the 5 or bring him off the bench doesn't really matter. We'll see how we go with that. He's making 10 mil, and the next year he has a $10 million team option, which I probably will accept. Dennis Schroeder, we have him for this season, 1.8 mil. We'll see how we want to go with him. He's 29 years old. We might want to bring him back as a backup. Lonnie Walker, been fantastic for us. Very happy with him, 6 mil this year. 77 overall, only 24 years old. I would like to bring him back if we can. Then we have Malik Beasley, who, another great pickup. I'm going to keep saying that, but I am really happy with the trades that Pelinka made. I was, in the group, they were saying, get rid of him. He's not been doing good. And initially, I was a little bit frustrated when I saw this trade because it immediately popped into my head, damn, we didn't get Kyrie. But I suppose ultimately, this is the much better option. Our depth is a lot better. We have pieces that fit now, so I can't complain, really. I'm happy with that. The only issue is Malik Beasley in 2K is sitting at a 76 overall. He's making 15 mil a year. He's only 26 years old. We'll see how he plays for us this season. He might be in a trade in the offseason. Then we still have guys like Wenyen Gabriel, Troy Brown, Devon Reed, and Max Christie. They've all been decent for us. Troy Brown, I would say, a bit underrated for us this season. 72 overall. I'm not too sure if I agree with that. Probably bump him up to around a 75 2K. I might just be biased, but I feel like he has been one of the bright spots for us. But again, for a season that's been pretty underwhelming, it's not that hard to be a bright spot. Devon Reed, he'll sort of just thrown in there. He's probably not in the future plans. Max Christie and Scottie Pippen Jr. I would like to hold on to, try to develop those guys a little bit so they can get proper rotational minutes. Cole Swiderman, I'm not too fussed. If it was up to me, I probably would have kept Matt Ryan over him. So no disrespect, of course. So that is how the team is looking for now. I just want to see sort of what the lineup 2K wants to run is. So they've got D'Lo at the 1, obviously. Reeves, Hachimura, LeBron, AD. It's a very 2K lineup. I don't love that in terms of realism, which is probably I'm going to be trying to steer more towards in this series, given it's a proper My NBA series. So I think what we might do is swap Rui and V8, and we'll have LeBron run the 3, V8 run the 4. So then we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then Rui's basically going to be the 6 man. I like that. We've got Mo Bamba off the bench, Dennis Schroeder, Lonnie Walker, and Malik Beasley. Happy with that. We can adjust some of the minutes here. So we'll have a look at the end of the bench. 11 minutes there. I don't want to go too crazy. I do have injuries on for this series to add that extra layer of realism. So I probably want to lower Anthony Davis and LeBron just a couple of minutes. We'll pump V8 up to 28 is okay. 25, we'll probably go 28 to D'Lo, 26 to Austin. Rui probably doesn't have to be playing 25. Mo can get about 18. Schroeder can also get about 18. 15 for Lonnie. I'd like to get that up a little bit because I'd like him playing about 13 minutes there. We'll go a couple more minutes to these guys and we'll start with that. We'll see how that goes. System proficiency with Darvin Ham, 3.5 stars. A lot better than what it was when we had Russ on the team. And I'm definitely not a Russ hater, unlike a lot of Laker fans. Obviously, it wasn't good for us, wasn't a good fit. I still respect him, especially as a person, and I still do enjoy him as a player. He can be quite exciting to watch. So if we look at the standings, we are currently the 13th seed. Now, obviously, the goal is to contend every season as long as we have sort of the similar structure as we do now. So 26 and 31, we're a couple games behind Portland, and we're only a few games out of the play-in and ultimately the playoffs because the West is very tight at the moment. So I do believe we can get there. So having a look at jersey sales, obviously we have LeBron, he's number 3. He's going to be there pretty much the rest of his career. Anthony Davis sitting at number 9, he's also going to be up there. I don't know if Russell Westbrook would have been in there just because of the name. Probably not. So we don't have anyone else by the look of things. Looks like we do have 100% fan interest and we are making quite a good profit. Obviously, the Lakers were going to do that most seasons. All right, so another thing I wanted to do was come and have a look at the player mentorship. Now, I've been through this a few times and changed a couple of things, so I cut a bit of the recording, but basically this is what I settled with. Max Christie being mentored by D'Lo. We're going to be trying to get him Slithery, Green Machine, and Hyperdrive. Mo is being mentored by Anthony Davis for Aerial Wizard, Claymore, and Anchor. And then Vando's lastly being mentored by LeBron for Aerial Wizard, Fearless Finisher, and Clamps. Now, a few notable guys I left off. Lonnie Walker, I feel like that's sort of what he's going to be for the rest of his career, at least for us. Troy Brown doesn't really matter too much. And the last couple of notable guys, Austin Reeves, I didn't think there was any point doing that. I think he can still develop up by himself. He's already up to a 78 overall. He's 24 years old, so it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense having him mentored by D'Lo. And then Rui, we decided to have Anthony Davis mentor Mo over him, just because I don't think I want to pay him and bring him back in the offseason at least. Now, lastly, for the training, we can go into the individual training here, and they have Mo being trained as an athletic big, which I'm actually going to go ahead and change because I think he's already on top of that. So we will go down to center, and I think I want to see if I can give him outside scoring. So he does have a very high compatibility with all of them. We'll go ahead and give him that just so hopefully we can turn him into a bit more of a stretch big for us. Malik Beasley's at an offensive shooting guard. That's fine by me. Offensive for Troy Brown. That's fine. Outside scoring for Max Christie is cool too. Anthony Davis inside scoring is fine. Wenyan athletic. LeBron playmaking. Offensive for Rui. We might actually go ahead and change Rui to... what is he? Is a small forward. So we will go ahead and change him to small forward defensive just because I think he needs a bit of help on that end. And then you can see the rest of the guys there. Offensive for D'Angelo and for Reeves, Schroeder, and Vanderbilt. We will also go ahead and change to power forward defensive. So I'm happy with all of that. Now, lastly, we will go ahead and see who is leading us in scoring. So obviously, you guys know this team, it's the Lakers. It's basically these two guys and then everybody else. D'Lo's come over to us. He's played 1 or 2 games. I think it might only be 1 at this point. He's putting up 18 so far in his season, 6 assists, 3 rebounds, 46% from the field, 39 from 3. And that's after a slow start to the season. I did see what he was doing in Minnesota. First game, though, with us that I watched, very happy, man. Could not be more happy. Glad he's back. And then we have Lonnie putting up about 13 on 45% from the field. Malik Beasley putting up 13. Chucked up a lot of shots in his first game, missed them, but that's what he's going to do. He's going to shoot, and I don't want him to stop, frankly, because I know he's going to hit them eventually. Rui's putting up 13. We would maybe like that a bit higher. 48% from the field is pretty good, though. Schroeder at 13. Reeves at about 11. V8 at 8. 7 for Mo. So it's very evenly split outside of the top 2. You can see a lot of people with about 10 to 18 points, which is fine. We would like to see if we can get at least a couple of those guys higher. Lastly, I just want to come in and see if we can find some minutes for Max Christie because I would like for him to get a little bit of playing time, but I just don't see anywhere he can actually slot him right now. That's fine. He's going to be the first man off the bench in case of injury. Fingers crossed that doesn't happen too often. I did turn down severity and duration of injuries. That's the only thing I touched just because 2K seems to be fairly unrealistic with that. So we're fine with that for now. So I think we will go ahead and do 1 month at a time to start the season. I will play 1 game or at least close parts of 1 game per month. And then we will keep going as we normally do. Check the stats every now and then and just make sure we do a little bit more in-depth analysis. But for now, we have the Trailblazers coming up. That will be next episode. So I think we will go from about February 13th until, say, March 12th. So we'll go simulate here. We'll go through the All-Star break. Obviously, we have an All-Star in LeBron. Probably should have been AD too, but we won't get into that right now. So we do have the Blazers, then the Pelicans, the Warriors. I think we'll play this game assuming Steph is healthy. Otherwise, I wouldn't mind playing the Mavericks either. And then we have the Warriors again, the Knicks. So we will go ahead and see who we decide to play. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. It does feel good to be back. I will be posting more frequently. As I said, we're going to try to make this into a fully fledged series. I'll also be posting a couple of other rebuilds starting with the Suns and the Mavericks. We'll see which order. I did say I was going to jump into those 3-minute rebuilds, but it looks like they weren't the biggest hit, even though, you know, these videos aren't getting a ton of views, but compared to the rest of them. So we'll see if we want to revisit that later. But hopefully you guys did enjoy. As I said, it is good to be back. If you did enjoy, please remember to leave a like. It helps me out a ton. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.